Hello. Hello, everyone, dear participants. I would like everybody to take their seats, get comfortable, because we're going to start the press conferences 1 minute. So we're going to start briefly, so 1 minute time.
They know also that they have to switch on the microphone before they speak, or should we?
Anche in italiano è una super boss. È una board level.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure to welcome you to the Delta Press Conference here at Hannover Messe 2025. We are proud to be back here at this leading event to show you what Delta has in store from innovations and strategic perspective. I would also like to warmly welcome our online audiences who are joining us through LinkedIn and YouTube. It is a great pleasure to have you be part of this event. My name is Gora Shukita from Delta Electronics EMEA region, and I am delighted to be your moderator for this press conference here today. Today, I have a great honor to introduce you three distinguished speakers that will share their expertise and knowledge with us. Ms. Shanshan Goa, Chief Brand Officer, Delta Electronics. Mr. Dalip Sharma, President and General Manager, Delta Electronics EMEA region. And Mr. Michael Mayerosa, Senior Director, Industrial Automation Business Group, Delta Electronics EMEA, and Global Head of Intelligent Robotics, Delta Electronics. I would also like to welcome, and it's my pleasure to say that Mr. Tim Lee is here, Deputy Region Head of Delta Electronics. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are so delighted to have you here today and show you what Delta has in store from innovation, developments, and strategic advancements. I would like to briefly lead you through today's agenda and all the strategic things we have ready for you today. We will begin with the update on Delta's global operations, highlighting our technology advancements and investments in the fast evolving landscape, as well as our strong commitment for ESG. Next, we will focus and shift our focus on the EMEA region and look at the outlook of automation, electrification, and digitalization, while also showcasing our success stories and achievements. Then, we will explore AI-driven automation through Delta Collaborative Robots and NVIDIA's digital twin and its significant role in shaping the smart generation of manufacturing. Finally, we will open the floor for the Q&A session, where you will have a great opportunity to engage with our speakers and gain deeper knowledge in all of these exciting topics. So without further ado, it is my great pleasure to welcome Ms. Shanshan Guo to the stage. Ms. Shanshan, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Willkommen and Guten Tag. I learned that 30 seconds ago. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, very happy to be back to Hanover every year, especially during this beautiful springtime. I am Shanshan Guo, the Chief Brand Officer for Delta, and it's a great pleasure for me to have this opportunity to update you the Delta's effort to foster a global progress through sustainable AI and green innovations. Please allow me to briefly introduce Delta a little bit, because every year we meet new friends and media here and would like to update some Delta's progress. Here is our founder, Mr. Bruce Chen. He just celebrated his 90th birthday last month. Goes to office every day, has attended a 3-day-long technology symposium just last week. Still very passionate about technology. He thinks himself more of an engineer than a businessman. So he's driving Delta with this passion. Delta was built in 1971 with the mission to provide innovative, clean, and energy-efficient solutions for a better tomorrow. And we are now the leaders in power solutions and the key players in automation, including industrial automation and building automation, and also in infrastructure, including ICT infrastructure and energy infrastructure. And we're very happy to report that despite all the challenges, we're still making progress in our revenue. We've reached over 13 billion US dollars in year 2024 by providing productivity and energy saving solutions for our customers. And innovation, just as I said, is a key engine for Delta's growth. We do have more than 70 R&D centers around the world, and 14 of them are based in the EMEA region. Normally, we spend around 8% of our sales revenue in research and development. That's already much higher than most other companies. But that figure reached 10% last year in 2024. And that keeps us strengthening our leadership in technology and sustainability. And one of the uniqueness of Delta is our business is an ESG-based business. Back then, 50 years ago, there was no fancy term of ESG. But our founder, Mr. Chen, noticed that he would like to found a company that does not only grow itself, but also have a positive impact to the environment. And that is exactly why he chose switching power supply to be our core technology. And now we're very happy to report that all Delta business are developed around this concept. We do have to have a positive impact to the environment. And for the ESG awards and recognitions we received, one of the awards was by Dow Jones Sustainability Index. We were ranked best in class for the past 14 years. And we are also leader in CDP, which stands for Carbon Disclosure Projects. Another major media has given Delta an honor is Time Magazine. We were ranked number 24th in the world as the most sustainable companies. That makes Delta on top in the Greater China region. So we're happy to share with you the result. As for the RE goals, RE100 goals, we plan to reach RE100 by year 2030. And now we've reached RE84%, which means that we use 84% of renewable energy in our operations. And that's mainly because our expertise in energy conservation and energy infrastructure. And this is what we've been participated in the past 14 years. Delta has participated in the world's most important climate conference, COP, that's hosted by UNFCCC. At COPs, Delta brings our most advanced technology to share with the world those practical solutions that can actually help to mitigate the risk and damage brought by climate change. And last year in COP29 in Azerbaijan, we were there presenting the energy efficient AI-based data center and net zero energy buildings. But we're very proud to be in the group marching towards sustainability, and we will continue to do so. But that's not enough. Very recently, in the World Economic Forum, we noticed that Ms. von der Leyen, the president of EU Commission, has said that the world is in a race against time to tackle global challenges such as climate change and grasp the opportunities of AI. And of course, now we can add to that, we're now facing a very new, completely different reorganization of the rule-based world order. So indeed, it is clear that this is a very important moment of human history. So in order to cope with these challenges, Europe is gearing up. We saw that France has just announced to invest over 100 billion euro in AI. And in Germany, plans to invest 500 billion in infrastructures and AI. But with these goals, there is a consensus that we need to have sustainability in mind. And that's where Delta is. Delta stands with Europe, trying to be in a team for Europe's digitalization and sustainability. And we're also supporting a very important survey, a research done by Economist Impact. This research is focused on greening intelligence. It is supposed to be released by end of this month, but I would like to give you a sneak preview of some of the results today. Economist Impact has gathered over 600 respondents around the world. About 40% of the respondents are C-level top management members, and they're from big companies. I would like to share with you that about 29% of these respondents are from Europe. So it's very evenly distributed. And we also had some interviews with the AI providers and AI users around the world. In this research, we see that the green bar represents the respondents from Europe. At this point, there are about 38%, that's right, of the respondents from Europe think that energy efficiency is important for AI operation. But when we ask them, what do you think, in 12 months' time, the number has increased almost double to 77%. So we can see from the report that energy efficiency is becoming a top priority for AI-related operations. Among all regions, Europe ranked on top. There are nearly half of the respondents from Europe think that a stable electricity and resilient grids are the main challenges for AI services. And the reason why, I think it's because Europe is the region that has adopted renewable energy first. You are the pioneer. That's why you rely on renewable energy so much. Therefore, a stable grid system is very crucial to Europe. And that's why we are here, to present you the solutions that can ensure a more stable grid system for our European friends and customers. At Hannover Messe this year, this is where we are. We're providing our AI-enabled energy-saving solutions in many areas, including our grid management system to help the energy transition. And you will be able to see Delta Grid, the platform, can optimize the energy use with energy storage and EV charging system. And another other thing is our EV chargers. And you will be able to see one that is 500 kilowatt ultra fast charger. And it just passed the certification of German regulations. So we're very happy to know that. And it can charge 2 vehicles at the same time. So these two are for the energy transition. And we also demonstrate our capability for AI data centers. Delta is the leader in power, thermal management, and infrastructure for AI-based data center. Last but never the least, you will be able to see right in front of our booth, there is this cobot that can not only see, but listen and follow your instruction. So it's AI-enabled cobot, which I'm sure my colleague will introduce more in details later. This will enable smart manufacturing to change the next generation manufacturing for many customers. Finally, we're happy to be here, and we were very happy to have strategic partners, and we will continue to innovate so that we will bring an intelligent, sustainable, and connecting world for the future. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anshan, for a wonderful opening presentation. As we discussed Delta's global strides, now it's time to shift focus to the strategic EMEA impact. For this topic, I would like to invite Mr. Dalip Sharma to join me on stage and share all the insights and exciting news from the EMEA region. Dalip, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Carter. Good afternoon to all the audience here who are physically present and also all the audience that we have online with us today. Very warm welcome to the press conference 2025 in the Hannover Messe, and really appreciate your presence here physically, and then you can also go around the booth to see some of the products and solutions that we are exhibiting here. And for the online audience, we will also probably have an online tour of the booths after the press conference. So let me begin with reporting to you what we are doing in driving the sustainable development in the EMEA region. Basically focusing in areas such as smart manufacturing, e-mobility, energy transition, and digitalization, which is nothing else. We're talking about automation, electrification, and digitalization. So let me take you to show what we have been doing in the past years. Of course, as Shanshan already shared several examples with you, all we are doing is we are keeping busy in realizing an intelligent, sustainable, and connecting world for all of us. And behind the statement, of course, as I mentioned, we are focusing on the areas such as automation, electrification, and digitalization in the EMEA region. And when I talk about automation, we are talking about intelligent industry and robotics. My colleague Michael will share more details in the next presentation. Electrification, we are focusing on the areas such as e-mobility for not only EV charging, but we are also talking about truck, bus, and fleet chargings, and smart energy infrastructure, and making the transition energy transition smoother, making sure that the energy grids in Europe, which are one of the most interconnected and complex grids in the world, making sure that they are more and more resilient and sustainable. And then we're talking about digitalization. This is one of our key focus areas, data centers, and also 5G infrastructure. When you talk about data centers, there's a lot of topic going around about AI training servers, data centers, more and more power. But it's not only about building the data centers or enabling the data center. It's all about how do we build carbon neutral data centers, or how we prepare towards that direction as the data center gets more and more energy hungry. It's also about sustainable data centers with a minimum impact on the environment. If we talk about EU's regulation, by 2030, all the data centers in the European region must be energy carbon neutral. So it's a lot of work. On one side, we need to provide very high energy levels. We are talking about megawatts and even gigawatts. And on the other side, this has to be green or carbon neutral, which means there are a lot of technologies that have to be deployed behind to make that possible. Smart factory transformations. Of course, Michael will talk about robotics and what we are doing in this area. Industry 4.0, moving to Industry 5.0, talking about industrial IoT, robotics, human and robot collaboration. So all those topics I'll leave for Michael to cover later. But what we are doing in this direction is in line with the European Union initiatives, whether we talk about Invest AI initiative, which is a 200 billion fund, which is created to build an AI infrastructure, but it also includes a 20 billion fund inside, which is for building AI gigafactories in Europe. So we are supported by these initiatives. We are working in this direction to make this a reality in several areas, not only talking about data center area, industrial area, we are also talking about robotics and human and machine collaborations. Another initiative is Gen AI for You. This is again by the European Union, quite recent. The objective of this initiative is to create European AI champions to help small and medium enterprise startup companies to adapt AI to deliver transformative AI solutions to the market. And then another one is Digital Decade, which is also enabling spreading the awareness, spreading the basic digital skills to the 80% of the European population. So all this is helping us to speed up moving towards industrial transformation, but also in our normal other ways of life. So Michael will speak about this later. Our big area of focus is also e-mobility or EV energy infrastructure or EV charging infrastructure. And here, as we look at the trend, we see that from past few years, but it's now catching up more speed, we need higher and higher capacity of power at the charging stations on the highways or in public charging environment. It used to be 50 kilowatt, moving up to 150 kilowatt. We are talking about 350 kilowatt now. 500 kilowatt is already displayed here. And now we are moving towards 1 megawatt because we see more and more electric buses coming onto the road, electric trucks coming onto the road. The electric bus fleet in Europe will be already 65,000 buses by 2030, which is 8 times more than what we have today. So of course we need to prepare the charging infrastructure along the highways or major hubs to make sure that the logistics part of the transport is also catered to for charging needs on top of the cars. So we need a higher and higher amount of charging stations. That would also means that we need to have battery backup behind. So you need a ESS, you need a PCS, you need the charging stations multiple to make sure that we have not only charging the cars, but we are charging the cars the most sustainable way. Data center market, we all talk about AI, increasing data center loads, and if you look at the numbers in terms of megawatts, in 2025 in Europe we are talking about 13.58 thousand megawatt, which is nothing but we are talking about 13.58 gigawatts of power consumption in the data centers. But in next 5 years, by 2030, this will already grow over 21 gigawatts, could be even higher. Of course, there are several initiatives I already talked about. Invest AI initiative, 200 billion fund from the European Union. Digital Decade, 165 billion. And then we are also seeing some of the early projects realizing. Shanchan mentioned about a few. There's 30 to 50 billion projects announced in France and also UAE for gigawatt level data centers. There's also 2.9 billion data center campus announced by Microsoft in Spain. So these are some early gigawatt level data center announcements that have been made, but this is a trend which will grow more and more. And that's where we need a sustainable technology development from Delta side to support this data center growth, not only in terms of delivering power, but in terms of delivering the power which is most sustainable, green, and we also, how do we integrate the power generation at data center source itself, and that's, you can see one of the examples here, hydrogen energy solution that we are bringing to the market to make sure that we are providing the power generation capacity on site for these large data centers going forward. So I sum up what we are, our main areas of focus, again talking about energy transition, EV adoption, making sure that the European grid is resilient and sustainable, industrial automation and digitalization side, data center AI and infrastructure demand, and then we're talking about supporting the government regulations and sustainability initiatives, make sure that we contribute to the European economy, to the European society in the most sustainable way, not only keeping ahead of the technology curve, but technology that is sustainable, green, and helps us meet the future needs of the society. How do we do this? Because we are focusing on EMEA region at this moment in my presentation, what kind of investments we are making in Europe to make sure that we have the right talent to take this technologies further to the next level. Shanchan already mentioned about our investment to R&D every year. It's about 8 to 10%. With over 73 R&D centers worldwide, over 12,000 R&D engineers and PhD working in those R&D centers. We have over 8,000 R&D patents awarded. That's by October 2024. I'm sure this number has gone up by now. And as a result, we have been nominated top 100 innovative companies by Clarivate, and this is a third time in a row, if I'm correct. Yeah, this third time in a row that we keep that position. Yeah. In Europe, we have, as Shanchan mentioned, we have 14 R&D centers in 2024. This used to be 11 by 2016, so it's gone up quite a bit. The plant sites or the factories are now about 6 in the EMEA region, and sales offices 38. But most interesting is to see the patents that we generate out of Europe. In 2019, this was 598, and by October 2024, we have already generated over 2,127 patents from Europe alone, from local talents out of our R&D centers, which means we are closer to the customer needs. We hear their customer needs. We are in the market, understanding the government initiative, understanding what customer needs, what are our the priorities of our customers and which direction they are going, so that we are able to innovate and design our products closer to our customers in line with the local requirements and regulations. Some of the examples here that you see, whether we talk about this ultra-fast chargers, 500 kilowatt, which is displayed over here, or we talk about a containerized data center ZooBus node, or we talk about cobots, all these products are designed in Europe and also manufactured in Europe and are now serving the European customers. So it goes to show about our local technology, local talent, also collaboration with Delta Global Networks, Delta Global R&D centers, exchanging the know-how and making sure that we are most competitive operationally as well as we go into produce those equipment for our customers. Some of the examples here, We have over 30,000 Move Air modular chargers that are supporting a fleet of more than 500,000 AGVs with one of the biggest e-commerce customers, customers in the world. Now this eMove is also demonstrated here on the booth. You can have a look as you go to the booth tour after the press conference. We also have the honor of powering the largest EV or PV farm in Europe, 650 megawatt. There's also in Germany, in Leipzig. We have provided over 3,500 125 kilowatt PV inverters to make that happen. So this is the largest PV farm in whole of Europe that's being supported by our PV inverters and are hooked onto the grid, already producing energy from about a year now. Another example of how we are supporting the European power grid is this utility BESS project in Netherlands. It's about 28 megawatt peak solar farm, which is deployed with 52 megawatt hour storage from our partner, tier one partner CATL. And this farm is already together with our PCS 1500 series already in operation in Netherlands. If you have a chance in north part of Netherlands, you can already go to the site to see it working. Another example of what we have done in past years is providing the ultra-fast 200 kilowatt charging stations to about 700 McDonald's restaurants in France. So in France, over 700 restaurants from McDonald's are having our ultra-fast 200 kilowatt chargers in the parking lots for the customers to enjoy. And then finally, another example is of our containerized data center, which is supporting Eurofiber in the fiber deployment. We are shipping about 50 such containerized data centers over the course of time. So far, since last year to now, we already shipped about 12 of them, and rest will go in this year and the following year in Netherlands, Germany, France, and Belgium. So they're connecting the fiber all the way from Netherlands down to Frankfurt. And then talking about RE100, as Shanshan mentioned to you, Delta's goal is to be RE100 by 2030. But on the EMEA level, we had set a target for us to achieve this goal by 2025. And I'm very happy to report that by end of 2024, we were already 96.6%. That's one last mile, which is always difficult. But we are very confident that within 2025, within this year, we'll be 100% RE compliant, which means that all our offices, factories, R&D centers, data centers in EMEA region are all on green energy or are carbon neutral. And that's, sorry, I need to go back. That's what some of the highlights that I shared with you, some success stories, but I also need to share that our employees as well, in their own small little ways, they're always working to contribute something to society. Outside of business, taking time out from their personal time or some time out from the office time, but in our small little ways, we try to make some effort to help our local communities, our local societies. So just a short video to share our efforts from all the employees here. So thank you. That was my presentation, and I'll be happy to answer any questions after the press conference, if there are any. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dilip, and especially highlighting all the success case and also our employee efforts here in EMEA here today. As Dilip mentioned, AI plays a significant role in Delta and in its developments. And with continued advancements of AI technology and strategic collaborations, especially those such as NVIDIA, adaptability is essential for the future of factory automation and digitalization. We will now hear from Mr. Michael Mairosa to discuss how these innovations alongside with growing role of robotics and industrial automation are transforming the industry. Michael, I would like to invite you to join me on stage.
Thank you, everyone. Yes, welcome to our this year Hannover Trade Show. It's a pleasure to be here again. This year, after 12 months, we're coming to the next level of robotics. Last year, more or less 12 months ago, we introduced a complete new cobot family. What we more or less bring to the market the last months, and every month we see more and more traction on this topic as well. But it's not only the cobot himself what we show here today or this week. We have also another solutions here on the show. But we cannot highlight all the different product solutions. So we will focus today on the AI topic, NVIDIA, and also our newest solution for the robotics. But feel free afterwards to take a chance to walk around. The team is ready for you to show you also our newest ways of VD SCADA solutions, what is important and pays into the sustainability, because when you see where your energy is going, you are able to adjust. So let me jump in my slides. So for us, and I'm speaking out of the Delta EMEA industry automation part, is the topic design, train and optimize and deploy autonomous control system for robotics and enhancing efficiency and performance across all levels. So this is what also Dalib and Shenzhen mentioned before. This is a very important topic for us, and it pays in all our products. So also the vision here is making digital intelligent factory automation accessible for everyone in the future. At the moment today, when we talk about AI, everybody sees different solutions on the market. Mostly humanoid robots is a big topic, but also the other robots still in place. But to find a way how to connect them with each other, let them talk with each other, or make avoidance and predictions, this is the next step. And we as Delta, we close the gap on our portfolio in this level. And so let me show you a little bit more about it. But first, why is Delta pushing this so much as well? Because we are getting this request from our customers already. So they are asking, okay, you have standard portfolio, but do you have also the next level of intelligence already available? So we were thinking how we can make both level of customers happy with products. So on the high level, we have the AI, and on the medium, where also I'm talking here about the medium-sized companies. We have a lot of them. We have 23 million medium-sized companies in Europe, and this is a lot. And they need to have easy solutions to integrate and optimize their factories. Yeah? So this is our challenge, what we go in and what we find solutions. So what are the main challenges and what we see from our side today? So today we have industries and ways of productions. We have still workers there, yeah? So they are there. Our goal in Delta is not to help companies to get more profitable in the way of kicking people out and then let the machine do the work. We have the approach to say, let's find a way to work humans and machines together. Yes, there will be then the time coming where the employees are not there because they're retired, and there are a lot of works what the people, the next generation don't want to do. Who wants to feed a machine the whole day? It's a job what is today available, but we need to find a way how we do this in the future. So, and this is why we also say, question is, for how long are humans available for typical standard productions work? And for example, on the German market focused, 41% of the manufacturing processes are in Germany automated today. when we divide this 41, or when we look in this 41%, is the big part IoT and also robotics. Yes, this is mostly the industry robotics out of the automotive industry. But you see there's a gap up to 100% still there. So we need to do the optimization in the production. But not only because of this human situation, because also the pressure from outside. Because when we don't get the cost down in our production, we will be not able to sell the products out of Europe. So because the pressure from Asia is coming into the market very strong. So the future needs to look a little bit different. So the future needs smart and digital factory automation. And this is why I put the digital part in, because only if you see what's happening in your factory, you are able to adjust. As I mentioned, VD SCADA, for example, you can see your power consumption, you can adjust, you can see your processes in the production. When I see here, I can optimize 1 second, here 10 seconds. At the end, it pays in your cost down, what makes you, again, possible to against the competition. So the solutions, but needs to be easy, so accessible for everyone. Yeah. Also, I call it, the German guys know what I mean now, I call it the Müller-Meyer, who has 10 milling drilling machines there, and they have today 1 employee who is feeding the machine. So he has an issue in 2 years when the guy goes retired, because there's nobody else who is feeding the machine. He has not the money to buy a new machinery who is full automated. So we need to find a solution for him to help him to get an automation running. So means we need to have easy solutions also in a digital way, not only hardware. We need to have a complete picture for them. Yeah. So how can this look like? Yeah. So when we have this transition done with the smart digital factory audit, we will be also able to work 24/7, because the machine is working non-stop, so there's no limit. The digital transparent in factory, as I mentioned, is important to see what's going on in the factory, because only when I see, I'm able to adjust. Next part, integrate easy and to use AI solution. So when I fulfill the first part, digital transformation, what does it mean? I have a lot of data. The human cannot manage this data. So I need an AI program in the backup to manage all this data and make decision. So with this is connected to the first one. Then also the next part. Some of you maybe saw some LinkedIn posts from China where they're pushing already for the dark factory approach. So this is not something what is science fiction, is real. They do it today. But this is also maybe a topic what's swapping up to Europe side, because when you are able to have 24/7 and digital and AI integrated in your factory, and you have anyhow no humans anymore available what can do the work with you together, then the question is, do I need light? No, I don't need light. I can have the dark factory also dark. What helps then at the end? Saving energy costs. Because as we facing in Europe, the cost is not going down, it goes more higher and higher and higher. So we need to find another way to get costs down. So there are some major challenges with some impacts in this process. So to do all these steps, we need to reduce the high energy costs. And this pays in the sustainability. This is also where my colleagues mentioned already, sustainability is one key topic in the future. The next part, we need to boost the productivity, make visible everything in the factory with digitalization. We need to find solutions with the upcoming worker shortages, and this can be only solved with automation. There's nothing else. There is only automation, the key for it. So how we can solve this problem? We need to expand our expertise in machine, process and factory automation, and also use new technologies and robots and AI for the future automation. But to overcome this part here, we need to take also the fear from the people. Today, I mean, I'm talking with customers and have different levels of customers, big companies, small companies. They still have the situation, oh, can I use this? What do I need? Do I need a high-end engineer with robotics knowledge, a master degree? Can I do this not on my own? I need to have a system running, and I need to take the fear that automation is not a bad thing, it's a good thing, it helps. So, but again, AI is still a big challenge. Yeah, it's nothing like tomorrow is the world nice and we can relax and the humanoid robot will do our work. We still here have a far away from the solution. But the main topic is for us, small, medium-sized companies, to give them the chance to have AI and automation available. So what we also just showed on the GTC in the NVIDIA event last week, that our factories, so this is a real factory by the way from Delta, where it's here already inside the Omniverse, where we have all the data available what you can see. So this is not a dream, it's existing. And we as Delta, as we are a long-term knowledge persons who knows how production looks like and how it needs to run, we use this technology. We did start with a DR Twin, our own solutions, and integrate also this in the NVIDIA Omniverse platform to get more visibility. Also, I mean, you see this is very high-end, showing the technology. You can zoom in, you can see what's the machine doing. All the data are available, and out of this you can make the next decisions. Digital twin is very important, not to show, oh, nice animation, very good. No, it's also important that I can try things out before I run the factory. So because today, when I want to adjust in the factory without digitalization, I need to stop the production to adjust and try. So I'm not able to produce. So I need to find another way to do the analysis, try, and take the AI and run 50 times the same process until I find, yes, this is the right approach. And then I upload in the production and then it runs. So this is also a big benefit for the medium-sized companies to optimize. So, but the important key also for us, what we find out in our digital factory solution, that this kind of technology helps a lot in visibility. So one example is to save time in AI training, because AI is at the beginning, I call it a small baby. You need to train the AI because you need to have some sources to make decisions. So for example, we use the Omniverse replicator and in the past, we had 10,000 or 1,000 labeled images in the production, and this took for us 2 days to analyze because it's done by manually work to understand. With this new technology, we can do it in 10 minutes. So now you can imagine, I can do a lot of different steps much faster as before. Also high precision with synthetic data, what is also important. We achieve 90% accuracy more with this synthetic data, what is also a big key for the factories. Scalability and flexibility. Also with this NVIDIA solution, which is precise robotic solution in all kind of way, because it's also important to have the simulation correct. Because with the wrong simulation, you make wrong decisions. So it's also very important to have all the big picture together. So the D-bot in NVIDIA i6 Sim as a digital twin, we showed already in SPS last year. Here we integrate our D-bot already into the NVIDIA Omniverse platform. The first step was real to sim and sim to real. What we showed also in the next level, you will see in the next pages now. So this was the first part from last year SPS, where you can see here our D-bot will be hand-guided, and you see already this is moving in the Omniverse world, where it's already as a digital twin running. So here again, we have done the real to sim and sim to real communications. So the next part, what we just announced and showcased in the GTC, and this you can only invite you go to the demo where we have from the GTC here as a video, but also in a small version with the real to sim and sim to real to try by self this technology. So we did integrate the next level of digitalization, what means prediction and avoidance. What does it mean? Today, I have solutions available, finished process, but we need to know also what can happen in the future, or what is happening when I disturb the process, the machine will stop. So we were thinking to do this in a different way, and we use also the NVIDIA solution for that in the way of, you see this is a standard PCB production. So the robot takes the row PCB board, it goes inside, and out comes the finished PCB board, and it goes into the box. So this is a standard process, what is programmed like it works every day. So, but what is happening if today a human is still there? Don't forget, we have still humans in the production. What is stepping into the situation? So with this prediction avoidance system, the robot knows, okay, I go from a different way and finish the process. So yes, I lose a little bit seconds on the timing, but I don't have a downtime on the machine because I have the process still running. And this is for us as Delta very important that our production's running non-stop without disruption. This is what we integrate here. So here we use different solutions also from NVIDIA with the real sense and QMotion, and here we integrate all this kind of new functions. So this was showed on the GTC last week. Unfortunately, we have not this version here because this is a big machine, but we have bring the video that you can see also in the video later on. So here is one part of this video what I was mentioned on the demo. So here we design in the Isaac Sim the machine. We take everything inside. This is completely designed in the 3D with all the process data. And out of this you can see here now that the robot is taking, the human is disturbing, the PCB is rubbed, but the robot is correcting. Then the human step the hand inside the process, but the robot still continue the process. This is how we doing the production in Delta and how we take care that the process is still ongoing. So this was the part with the NVIDIA cooperation, but also with our digital solutions. Digitalization is a big topic, and we can talk for hours, and there are different opinions, I'm sure. But for us in Delta, you can see this is our statement, how we see it, and how we offer this to our customers. So what we else have today, this week here. So we also introduce to our cobot family now a new ecosystem product. It calls the Cognitive Robotic Solutions. So here we call it a CogniBot kit. What does it mean? It's a special device where it allows to make more functionalities into the cobot, but still keep the platform the same. Because the D-bot is developed for all kind of customers and mostly focusing on the medium-sized companies because they want to have an easy-to-use robot. It's plug and play, easy to coordinate, easy to program. But if I say I integrate this in my main product, then I generate a new product, what I don't want because I have a lot of customers, they don't want this technology. But on the other side, I have customers, they're asking for that, and this is the answer now. So with this system, we're able to connect a new way of interaction and a collaboration with the human. So also this demo is on the right side in the front, so feel free later on to try on your own. So what does it mean? We can do now here programming with voice command, yeah? But this is also not like, oh, now I can tell the robot, make my coffee or whatever. It's not the way how it works. You need to train. It's an AI-based topic again. So all the items, what you see in the box, what the robot is taking, it was trained before. This can be done by a 3D scan. This can be done, you upload from SolidWorks a 3D file that he know this is a mouse, this is a tape. Every item what you see, we need to give a name. And out of this, you can say later on, please sort all tapes out of this box, and then he will do. You don't need to touch any display. You can only tell your voice to do. But you need to train the baby. Again, think always, AI is a baby, it needs to get trained. So also, it's easy to use, so you only have additional computing next to our control box. Where's the AI? Because you need more computing, you can imagine, because a lot of data needs to be processed. So this is also additional box, but it comes as a complete package without no-brainer. Also, what we have installed here, the way of, you need no cables, because what is also not always the people like when the cables is around a robot and then you do moving, the cable gets turned 50 times and then it's cut it. So also here we have the options as a Wi-Fi, then you don't need the cables and can be run the system autark. So also, as I mentioned, the Wi-Fi connections we did already. So it comes at the end with a 360 degrees microphone because you need to talk with the robot in all direction. Also here you will see on the Hannover Messe where the noise is a little bit there. It still works probably because in the factory you have also noise and you need to be sure that it runs stable. Also the 3D vision is very important because without a 3D sensor the AI is not working because it needs to have eyes. And also speakers, power AI box I mentioned, and the Wi-Fi connections. So this is the part of my presentation today. I can tell you a lot of more. Feel free afterwards to contact me. But this is our message for this year Hannover Messe. And I can only invite you the next evolution of Digital Smart Factory from Delta. And thanks for your time.
Thank you so much, Michael. And especially for the presentation about Delta, Cobot, and NVIDIA Onverse. We can really see it's revolutionizing the smart manufacturing production, and we're really excited to see where this technology goes next. I think after such insightful presentations, we probably have many questions pending for our colleagues. And also for our online audiences, if you have any questions, please type them in the chat, and we'll try to answer as many as possible during this session. I would like to open the Q&A session, and I think we can start with the questions coming from the audiences here. So if you have any questions, you can raise your hands, and we will pass you the microphone. No questions? I think I see we've received some online questions. Yes, just a moment. Thank you so much. The question we received from the online audience is, Michael, I think it's a topic you already mentioned, and it even bursted more interest in. How does digitalization affect Delta in the future? So I think this is a topic that all of us can talk. Maybe we start with Michael from robotics section, and also Dilip, I would also like some insights for you from the EMEA region perspective.
So yes, I mean, as I mentioned, digitalization is a big topic, and it's important for the future to see what's going on in the factory, because when you're blind, you cannot optimize. And but the future is more like, as I say, we need to find a way to get this technology in all kind of levels of factories, because when we achieve this, we can make everybody happy, and also at the end, we have a chance to grow. So this is the message, what I can tell you.
Thank you so much.
When we talk about digitalization, no matter from what perspective, robotics or whatever else, it means we have more data to analyze, we have more sensors, we have more local decision-making processes or capabilities, and which calls for a technology, much smarter technology, but it also means higher power consumption. Then how do we treat that power consumption, and so on and so forth. So the moment you say digitalization, it's, I say, opportunity. So.
Definitely, and there's so much opportunities for us for Delta. Do we have any other questions coming from our audience here? Any live questions coming from the... Well, in that case, I want to thank everybody for coming here in the press conference. We thank you for your time and opportunities. And if you have any further questions, we really invite you to stay over here in our booth. We're very happy to bring you around, showcase our solutions and our experts to show you everything about our project. We will also find a media kit in your gift bags. And also, if you have any other inquiries, please come to us. We are happy to share more. Thank you so much. Thank you to our online audience for watching. We wish you a wonderful day and see you in the next year.